What's up, everybody? Well, today is history in the making. We've been talking about Monero probably more than any other YouTube channel. You can go and check for yourself. And we've been talking about this as a very bullish asset because of the structure of the chart and based off what it was doing. And what was it doing? Well, ever since we were down here, we've been, I've been saying Monero is one to watch for. And slowly but surely it was accumulating, right? And then it basically kept us second guessing it, right? Because it would go up, little three-way pullback. It would go up, little three-way pullback. Go up, little three-way pullback. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, massive breakout. I mean, you couldn't even get it more textbook than that because we were talking about this being a hornet's nest, right? And if you don't know what that is, it's a nest of 1-2s, 1-2s, right? It's one of the most deadly, vicious, violent, bullish patterns on planet Earth, which is a nest of 1-2, 1-2s post reaccumulation range, right? Because we talked about we had the rise, we had the crash, we had the retrace, we had the reaccumulation, we had the sideways reaccumulation, and then post reaccumulation, what did we do? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we've been talking about that for I don't know how long, dude. It's been over a year, probably 2 years we've been explaining that. But what happens? Why don't people pay attention if we've been talking about it for this long? Why hasn't, I would assume a lot of you did capitalize on this. For sure. But there's a lot of people who got complacent and ignored it. And thankfully, because this is not financial advice, so I'm glad you ignored it, but I'm also kind of sad you did because yeah, this is a big deal. And so this and when is this happening? This is happening during what? Nothing's going on. Let's look at Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? Absolutely nothing, except for what? The biggest thing ever, which is what? A retrace. And it kind of helps if you've been following along this whole time, but essentially what we've been thinking here is that either this is 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then we're going to get 5, which is totally possible still, or this was a flat where we had 3 down, right? We had 3 up, and we had 3 back down. Okay, so that's a W, that's an X, that's an Y. This is a running flat right here. And what that means is we're either going to go impulsing and top, or we're going to have 3, 3, and 3, and then top, right? Basically a retrace. And that retrace allows certain altcoins like Monero, the one I've been talking about viciously for how long now? So please like this video, hit subscribe, because as an analyst, I can't say like if something happens and then it takes a year for it to play out or longer, and it's finally I can come out and say, see, I hate saying it, but see, I told you, we got it, right? And we were correct on that. And we're not always going to be right, but we've been right pretty a good amount of the time. So we got Theta correctly. We had the retrace. It wasn't as high as we wanted. We got the most famous thing was XRP, right? Because we totally crushed that. And then basically we're looking at Monero. And who else was I talking about that hasn't blown up yet? Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is in a position too, and we'll talk about that. So a couple days ago, I put a members video out, part 1, part 2. I made part 2 public, but then I put it back to members only because it was actually a mistake. But the big part was part 1, which was Monero and XRP. So if you want to watch that members video, you go ahead and take a look at it. Try it out for a month. If you don't like it, just cancel it. No big deal. But at least, this as we approach the most interesting time of the market. And people say, oh, Bitcoin's in a bear market, it's in a bear market. Well, look, if it is in a bear market, then what is the first thing that happens in a bear market? Anybody? It's called what? Distribution. And that is exactly what happened over here, right? This is a bull market. This is distribution. This is the bear market. And that's the retrace. Okay, so where are we now? We are in distribution. Why is that a good thing? Because inside of distribution, you get the biggest freaking moves on the planet for certain altcoins. Not all of them, certain ones. Like, look at this. XRP. I'll put XRP up here. And let me take a line, a vertical line. And you see this giant candle right here? See this giant move? So I'm going to put that line right there. All right. And then I'm going to get rid of XRP. So look where XRP exploded. I'm going to turn it on again. You can see massive, 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 massive explosion. And it was only a retrace. It wasn't a complete breakout. But you could see how massive that was. When did that happen? When? It happened inside of the third leg of the distribution, right? So we call that what? We call that 3 drives to the high. You got 1 drive, 2 drive, and 3 drives. And notice the third drive is the most important. That's when XRP exploded. Theta too. And not only Theta, but many other coins exploded in this vicinity. Okay? So if you notice, this was our third little drive to the high. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I want you to take a mental screenshot. Remember, 1, 2, and 3. Remember that. Okay, so now here we are in real time. Look what's happening here. If this is a bear market, then what does that mean? This is a distribution center. Wait a minute. No, wait. Walmart is a distribution center. No, I'm just kidding. So this is a distribution range, right? So we have 1 drive to the high, 2 drives to the high, and what the hell do you think is going on right now? Potentially, right? This is not financial advice. I could be totally dead wrong. I could be totally wrong. But come on, think about it. It looks like it could totally be a third drive to the high. And that's called 3 drives to the high. 1, 2, 3. Because, oh, that's a bear market. Well, yeah, that's how bear markets start. They start by creating divergences, right? But in order to create divergences, you have to create a range. And in order to create a range, you have to be, crashing and retracing. So we crashed. How long did we crash? We crashed a long time. We've been crashing since August and October. So August, October, through October, we were up here. And then ever since then, we were crashing. I mean, come on. How long are we going to crash for? Obviously not forever until what? What did we do? We chilled out a little bit. We have support down here. So what's happening? We're retracing, right? You pump, you crash. You retrace, you crash. You retrace, and then you seriously crash after that, right? But the big crash hasn't happened yet because we are still completing the distribution range. Please, if you could hit the like, subscribe, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Because honestly, there's not a lot of people who are getting it right, unfortunately. And I'm very vocal about what I think. This is not a shot calling channel, but I do give us ideas, and it could be a bullish idea, it could be a bearish idea, and a lot of times it's more than one idea. But I do share my main idea most of the time. And someone said, well, what if this was 3 drives to the high? 1, 2, 3 here. And I don't like it. The reason why it's probably not that is because it's not really a range. It's more, like this one over here was a complete range. So it was a lot better looking, right? So do I think Bitcoin is in a bear market? Yes, I do. Well, is that a big surprise? No. The reason I kind of think it is because we have 5 waves. Look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this could be 3, this could be 3, and this could be 3. So what we don't know is this could still be 1, this could be 2, this could be 3, this right here could be 4, and then we still need to go get 5. Totally possible. And then we would go into a bear market. So that would be idea number 1, not necessarily my main idea. I have no main idea on Bitcoin except what? Except up. I think that it, like I've been saying for how long? I mean, it's been a while since we've been talking about this. Either, my 2 ideas, which is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, retrace, or 3, 3, 3, retrace. So both of them are going up. Both of them are going up. The difference is, do we hit the low one more time before we go up? So far, that hasn't happened yet. Still looks really good so far. But yeah, that's Bitcoin. So what is the whole point of this, guys? The whole point is, can we get XRP to hit $10 upon a Bitcoin retrace? Remember, go back over here. We did it over here. Look, this was Bitcoin distribution. What happened in that distribution? XRP totally, let's see if I could get rid of this. There we go. Totally broke out, right? So that line represents the distribution. XRP, massive breakout. What do we see with Monero right this second? Massive breakout. Why is it massively breaking out? Because when we look at Bitcoin, it's going into its distribution retrace. I mean, come on. We got this. We got this. We got this. Don't even worry about it. You got your job. You got your paychecks. You don't care if it goes up or down in the short term, because all you're focused on is investment over a period of time that's reasonable. Now, that could be for someone, that could be a year or 2 years. Someone else, for me, maybe 3 to 5 years. But at the end of the day, we never stop investing. We never stop investing. And at the end of the day, crypto's been getting kind of killed over the last year. And we haven't even, okay, so, and then we have January, tomorrow, they're going to vote on the Clarity Act, I think. So basically, this could be a pre-pump ahead of the whatever, the legislation that they're trying to do. I was trying to think of the word. So basically, what is going on with Bitcoin? So if we look at the small time frames, it looks fine. I mean, here's the problem with Bitcoin, though. It looks like a 3-wave move. I don't really trust it a lot. I wouldn't put a lot of money. I would put no money in Bitcoin, actually. But, it looks like we have a 3-wave move here. We don't know how high this could go. This could be like one. So look, you could have, for example, 3 down, 3 up, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's a 3, 3, and a 5. That's an ABC. So that might all we get. We might get up here, and then that's it, and we go down, right? Because we still don't know if this is our 4th wave, right? This could be a 4th wave, right? And if it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we would still expect a retrace. Now, here's what I'll say. If we do have to come down here, I don't think this top is going to get broken. So if we have 5 down, it's very unlikely that that top will get broken. It might ever get so slightly, it might break it a little bit, but not as likely as it would if we would just start to go now, right? Because what we really want, guys, what we really want is 3 up, 3 down, and then 5 up, just like that. We want something like that, where we have a 3, 3, 5. And then we kind of chill out a little bit up here, and then the altcoins go crazy. Not all of them, certain ones, like, the ones we've been talking about. Like, for example, XRP. Now, here's the problem with XRP. The problem with XRP is I just don't like the way it looks on this wave. This right here, I don't really like. I like it now because we broke out, right? But I still don't know if this is going to be a flat. Because what's the idea here? Okay, let's just forget about all the bull crap and let's just look at it zoomed out. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this super simple for our audience. And we're going to put Bitcoin right there. And we're going to tell you exactly what the future is going to happen. At least what I think is possible and what I would hope to happen. But if it doesn't happen, guess what? It's still going to happen anyways. It's still going to happen anyways. And I'll explain why. So let's go up to the higher time frame here. Now, first of all, here's what we're looking at. So what I'm saying is my idea, based on what happened in 2018, remember, Bitcoin crashed in 2018, January, but that's when XRP exploded. It was during the Bitcoin retrace in January of 2018. Now, you fast forward to, what was that? March of 2021, May of 2021, what happened? The same thing happened. XRP exploded inside of a Bitcoin retrace, right? It was in a distribution range. So here we are again at the verge of a bear market. What could possibly happen? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, and we have a 3-way pullback for a wave 4. So that wave 4 came in. Everything is about timing. Everything is about confluence. And there's a lot of confluence. There's a lot to be excited about. And what is there to be excited about? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 waves, right? But look at the wave here. It's a perfect wave. It's a perfect 3-wave pullback. So we have an impulse. We have a 3-way pullback. Now, here we go. If Bitcoin can go up in 3 and then 3 down and then 5 up, basically it's just 3. Let's just say 3, make it simple. 3 waves up. That could equal Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, XRP, easily doing what? Doing what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Bull bear market here. Done. I'm excited. I cash out. I walk away for a year or two. Done deal. It could happen literally within a matter of weeks, guys. What if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't happen? So that's the idea. That's what we want to happen. Let me say that one more time. What we want to happen is we want this to go into a retrace, while simultaneously we want XRP not to go into a retrace, but rather go into one more parabola, one more impulse to the upside between $5 and $10. Is that so much to ask? And you know why I think that's going to happen? Regardless, is because look what XRP has done over the last 8 years, guys. This is an 8-year base. Remember, the bigger the base, the higher in space. The bigger the platform, the bigger the launch pad. This is a launch pad. Think about SpaceX. This is a launch pad. The bigger the launch pad, the bigger the launch, right? So this is 8 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my goodness. That's a long time. And you could say, well, that's bad. No, that is extremely good. Why is it extremely good? How is it good? We're going sideways. We're not going up. How is that good? Well, let me explain. Because if you look over here, look at this. This was all sideways. This is exactly the same thing. Look at this. We have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, right? So we built this support structure. We built this base. Sideways is the best thing for your investment, for the longevity, for the stability over the life of your investment. Because if an asset is just going up, then the downside is massive because there's not a lot of support. But if you go sideways for 8 years and then you break out, let me just explain that real quick. Watch this. Here we go. This is going to be really cool to watch. Am I not hypey enough for you guys? Oh, I love it. I love it. I like getting excited. You know, a lot of traders, they're always the same. If they're bearish, they're the same. If they're bullish, they're the same. They have no emotion because they're trained not to do that. But when you're explaining to an audience, the audience needs to feel the excitement or feel the worry or feel, you know what I mean? So obviously you're not going to trade based on your emotions, but you can sense by the tone of my voice, yeah, this is exciting, or man, this is not so much. But look, we are basically cooking in this the last point before we break out. So if you notice, we came up, we stabbed it, but we didn't have any consolidation. We came down. We came up, we stabbed it, but we didn't have any consolidation. And then we came back around. Notice we had a cup and we have a handle. And we also have a W pattern. A W is very bullish, right? M's are bearish, W's are bullish. So basically what happened is we came back around, we broke out, and now we're consolidating. We're testing the top, testing the bottom, testing the top, testing the bottom. Why are we doing that? Because the reason why the price does that is because when it eventually breaks out, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to crash back down. And when that happens, we have a safety net to catch us. You know what I mean? Because if we did not build this structure, let's say, let me just put it right there. Let's say we broke out and we did not build that structure. Well, if we did not build this, let's just do this. We'll just make that disappear. There we go. So let's say we broke out, boom, right? And then what? Well, then we would come back down, but then we might not hold. We might not hold. We might fall all the way down and be coming, down in here where there's actually support down here. Around $1.30, between $1 and $1.30 before going up again. But it would be a very bearish, right? So what did we do? What did Trump do? Trump got elected. We exploded. But Trump said, don't explode yet, XRP. And everyone's like, well, how come we're not exploding? Trump is president. We should be going up by now. Well, be smart. You got to be smarter than that. What did we do for the last year? We spent the last 12 months, more than that, in this three-way pullback. So when did this three-way pullback occur? It happened in November, December. Okay, boom, that's 1 year. We're in January now. So December, three-way pullback. This whole thing took 1 year. This is a 1 year three-way pullback. Okay, so look at this. Here's the cool part. Ready? Super exciting. Where else could we find a 1 year three-way pullback? And what happened after that 1 year three-way pullback? Well, look no further, ladies and gentlemen, than right over, I'm trying to find my thing, right here. A, B, C. How long did that take, ladies and gentlemen? How long did that take? Well, let's see here. It started in July and it ended in July. Oh, well, that's very weird. So that took 1 year. Interesting. Okay, so what happened after that? What happened after that 1 year three-way pullback? Remember, this is a 1 year three-way pullback. This is also a 1 year three-way pullback. What happened after the first 1 year three-way pullback? Well, very simple. What did we do? We had an impulse to the upside and we flagged out and then we exploded to the upside. So let me ask you this. If Bitcoin is going inside of its retrace, potentially, it may not, but it looks like it is, right? If Bitcoin is going into its three-way pullback and we're going to get three drives to the high, similar to what happened back over here when XRP exploded, then that is the perfect environment for XRP to explode to $5 to $10. Am I saying that's going to happen? It is a very good chance. Is that my main idea? It is my main idea under a few circumstances. One, I need a few things. I need a few things for this to become my main idea. But before I do that, what is the alternative idea? So that we know. Okay, the alternative idea is this. So this could be, well, there's a couple of them. Well, it depends if we have one more low. So let's just talk about the alternative. So we have 1, 2, 3. This could be 4, and then we get 5. And then we just go up. So it's the same idea. It's literally the same idea. Same idea. We go up, we hit the high. The difference is we have one more hit to the low before we do it. So that's idea number 1. Right? Well, that's idea number 2. Idea number 1 is we go up from there, right? Idea number 2 is that we have one more low and then we go up from there. But it all is dependent. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It has to have a Bitcoin retrace. And it has to be in distribution. If Bitcoin goes up in a 5th wave, let's say Bitcoin is not in distribution, then it might not happen so quickly like we think it will, right? So what is the alternative? Hurry up and spit it out already. Well, we have 3 down, right? So the alternative would be 3 waves up and then 3 or 5 waves down. And that would look something like that. So we would basically channel flagging out, flagging out, flagging out, boom. Then we go up. But that could take another year. That could take another year. That could take all year. I mean, not another year, but all year. That could take all year for that to happen. So those are the 2 main ideas. Both of them say we go up, right? First idea, 3-way pullback. We explode to the upside upon a Bitcoin retrace. Second idea, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and then we go up for the hit to the high. The third idea is that we have 3 down, we have 3 up, and we have 3 back down. And we would probably land right here at $1.30, between $1 and $1.30. I really highly doubt that XRP will ever fall below say 90 cents. I don't think we're going back below 90 cents. We could hit $1. We could hit 98 cents, but I don't think we're going below 90 cents. I don't even think we can go below $1, right? But never say never, because crypto is always very interesting. But the reason I don't think that is because of the position that we're in, right? Remember, we've been doing this for 8 years, guys. The time is now. Think about what's happened over the last 8 years for XRP. I mean, God dang, so much has happened. We had a major lawsuit. We had the SEC debacle. We beat the lawsuit. XRP is not a security. We have an XRP ETF. We have the best president on the planet initiating a crypto first, America first agenda, which XRP is an American coin. We have a country again, and we have legislation coming. So there's so much to look forward to. How could we possibly be bearish? Well, based on the price action. We have every right to be bearish. Look at Theta. Look at Filecoin. Look at Matic. Look at Avalanche. Look at SHIB. Look at many other coins that have been getting killed, eviscerated, right? So if anything, this is not a bear market. This is a continuation of the bear market we've been in this entire time, right? People think we're going into a bear market, but in order to go into a bear market, we would need to have a bull market. Where's the bull market? There's no bull market. We have not, except for Monero. Monero's finally in a bull market, just initiated. And Monero's the talk of the town, and I'm not even talking about it. I'm talking about XRP, but we will talk about it. I will circle back to it. But this is the idea. Basically, it's a W, X, and a Y. We flag out, and then we break out. And the reason that, let's say Bitcoin gets a retrace, but then XRP doesn't go into a 5th wave, but it just goes into a retrace. Well, then by that time, I would say, yeah, it probably needs 3 up, 3 down, right? Or I'm sorry, 3 down, 3 up, and then 3 down before we go. So my main idea is very bullish, but a few things have to happen. The first thing that has to happen, which I think it happened already, is breaking above this downward. No, we haven't done it yet. We want to break above the downward resistance line. That's step one. Step two would be we need to break above 277. We need to break back above this resistance line. So if we could do those two things, then this would qualify my main idea as my main idea, right? Otherwise, I have two main ideas, and I don't know which one is it going to be. But here's the cool part. We don't have to know which one's it going to be. You know why? Because both of them will result into a $5 to $10 XRP. So it's like, it's so easy, guys. This is easy. This is easy. The reason why it doesn't feel easy is because things don't feel right? Bitcoin's kind of looks like it's topping. It's threatening a bear market. People are very scared and nervous. So they're not expecting anything crazy, right? But if we've been consolidating, XRP has been consolidating for the last year, right? We've been going down for the last year, just like we did before, right? So what happened after that? We had that. So why is it so ridiculous to think that we can't get something similar? I don't understand it. Oh, because Bitcoin's in a bear market. Well, yeah, but that's when it happens. XRP explodes to its new all-time high inside of a Bitcoin bear market. People think that it has to go together simultaneously, and that's not the case. So there we go. We got XRP out of the way. Let's look at the smaller time frames. Let's see if there's anything in here. Again, the smaller time frames are always going to be the most challenging, because what we want to see here is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? If that is 5, and then we get three-way pullback, then I'll be happy. But so far, I don't have that. All I have is 3. So it could still be a flat. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And that becomes a 5, 3, 5. And that in itself is an ABC. So if we get that ABC, we could still have one more leg down, a fifth wave before going up. So it's either it happens now or we go down and it happens later. I don't know which one's it going to be. If I had to choose, I would say that as long as we hold here, we should be looking at upside. But if we start to break below, what is that? That's 204. Yeah. So if we stay above 204, I'm happy. If we're below 204, we have to worry about that fifth wave. So it's pretty simple, common sense stuff. Definitely check out the members video, because, they're a little bit different than normal videos. I kind of get a little bit more into it. But essentially, it's essentially we're got the same basically idea, right? And that is that this thing should resolve itself. Now, here's the bearish part about it, right? And what is the bearish part? That is blockchain backers bearish fractal, right? Remember his fractal? So here's his fractal right here. And this is totally legit, and it could totally happen. But here's the cool part. What did blockchain backer say? Right? He said that if we get this three-way pullback, which we totally did, then there's a big chance we could capitulate after that. But here's the cool part. If we capitulate after that, then that's the low. That's it. That's the low. So I go back to my chart, and again, if this is a three-way pullback, which it totally is, and we start to come down, then guess what? This last move will be the last move down. All right. So if that happens, then I would say that now we've officially have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. Right? So if we get, because we don't know if it's 333 or if it's 335. We don't know if it's 3 or 5. That's the hard part. So we have to assume that you always want to assume the worst, right? We don't want to be too, if you're using leverage, you want to assume the worst. But if you're buying spot, I highly recommend, well, I can't recommend anything because I'm not a financial advisor, but I can recommend to myself, I can recommend to myself that if you have a job, which I assume most of you do, and you get paid every 2 weeks, which I assume you do, I would take a percentage of my paycheck every 2 weeks and I would put it into crypto, a spot position. It could be XRP, it could be XLM, it could be Theta, it could be Ethereum, it could be whatever, Avalanche, it doesn't matter, Monero, it doesn't matter, whatever. Well, Monero is kind of cooked a little bit too hot right now, so I probably wouldn't choose that. But and just look at it as a savings account. Look at it as a piggy bank. So let's say you make, you got your paycheck and you take 5% of that and you put it into XRP. And you do that every 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Every time you get paid, you put 5% into crypto. Or it could be 10%, or it could be 2%, or it could be 0.5%. It doesn't matter. At least it's something, right? And then in 5 years, guys, in 5 years, you're going to look at the situation like, OMG. I cannot believe that I have this amount of money with only taking 5% for the last 5 years. You're gonna be shocked at how much you actually have. People don't do that. They buy crypto and then they sell it and they get out. That's the stupidest thing you can do. The best thing you could do is buy it and hold it. And then what you do, you say, okay, but what if we go up? I'm not allowed to take profit? Yes. Take profit, but don't take it all out. Take out what you put in. So if you put $20 in right here, this should be part of the members video, by the way, because this is valuable information. But if you take $20 right here and we go up and now you made $100, well, then what I would do is I would take $20, which was my initial investment, plus 10%, which is my royalty that I got paid for executing that trade, and then leave the rest in there for old self, right? So old Brandon. So I'm Brandon now, but I'm going to be old Brandon in the future, right? So if your name is James or Brian or whatever, don't care about James or Brian, care about old James, old Brian. I got that joke from 2.5 Men when Alan and Charlie, Alan had money in the piggy bank, and Charlie's like, "What's all this money? How come you haven't been helping me pay rent?" And he's like, "That's for old Alan." So yeah, think about it like that. So, and then you can say, well, what if I buy a lot of crypto and then we go down? Well, guess what? If we go down, what do you think's going to happen after that? We're going to go back up again. That's what happens. Crypto goes up, it goes down. But when it goes down, that's when we should really get aggressive with our buying, like now. But dude, just looking at this chart right here, like, do you honestly think it's going to go down? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't look like it is. If anything, we're going to come down and test $1.30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we hit the high. Right? But again, the best thing we can possibly do is just dollar cost average. Everybody has a paycheck. You take 5 or 10% of your paycheck. Maybe you can't do that. Maybe it's only 1%. Whatever it is, you buy crypto every chance you get. Right? And then over time, it's the best winning strategy. And you can say, well, I moved past that. I'm more of an expert now. I want to day trade. I want to day trade now. Well, I wouldn't start day trading. I would start swing trading first. So the first thing you do as an investor is invest. Investing should be your number one thing, right? Investing. And then after that, once you're comfortable buying and selling, then you can move to what? Swing trading. S. right? For swing trading. And then if you're doing that correctly, then you can move to day trading. But always, always invest. ISD. Invest, swing, day. So that's it for XRP. We looked at Bitcoin. Let's go back to Monero, the highlight of the day here. And we're, already 40 minutes in. We haven't even really talked about it, but essentially we've been talking about it. So just go, here's what I want you to do. Go to YouTube, type in Crypto Brandon XMR. So I'm going to type in Crypto Brandon XMR. There we go. Oh, would you look at that? Now let's see how many Monero videos we got here. I don't know if all my videos are going to show up here because I'm not really a big channel, but look at this one here. Here's just one here. So this was 1 month ago. And basically, what did we talk about? Breakout coming, right? Let's keep scrolling down. I'm sure I have a lot of Monero videos, but they're probably not going to pop up again. I'm not a big channel, but let's take a look. I mean, just this is our members video right here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going?
And that was put out just a couple days ago. But essentially, you know, I talk about Monero basically every video. I might not highlight it on the thumbnail, but just watch any one of these videos, and I'm sure I'm talking about Monero. So, and I've been saying the same thing, which is it's incredibly bullish. And another thing too, what I forgot to tell you about XRP, ladies and gentlemen, was what? Was one of the most important things, which is what? Which is the 2-week 9 buy, which I totally forgot. Look, we have a 2-week 9 buy. And if you don't know what that is, I mean, it's basically letting us know, hey, this is a bullish signal. It's an exhaustion indicator. It's only happened 3 or 4 other times in history. And each one of those times resulted in at least 100+% rally. Bitcoin dominance. Ooh, Bitcoin dominance is setting up for something. You could see how we're chilling right here. See, we move up, chilling. So a move's coming, and most likely that move will be up. Why will it be up? Because we need 3. We need 3. When you have a big move down, you need 3 up before you could keep going down. So everything else, you know, like Dot and Theta and basically everything, Filecoin, Rune, 88, everything is pretty much gotten beat up so much that this is a dollar cost averaging paradise down here. And I hope that we take advantage of it. Not financial advice. We could keep going lower, but even if we do keep going lower, I still wouldn't be upset that I bought here, right? Because look, this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we still need 5, right? So if I bought here and then we went down further, I'm not going to panic and go, oh my God, I got to get out and sell everything. No, because why? Because it's a spot position. You're not going to lose that much, and you're not going to lose anything unless you sell, right? If I buy $100 worth of XRP and then XRP goes down and now my value is only $80, well, so what? I'm not. If I sell it, then I would lose. But if I just hold it, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, well, now it's $120. So I went from $100 down to 80. Now I'm back at 120, right? And then in 5 years, it's like $5,000. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, but yeah, Theta is looking remarkably interesting. Why? Because you have a massive impulse and you have a massive 3-way pullback. I mean, it's like a textbook type of thing. And if you look at the third one, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks totally interesting to me. Or rather, you could say, yeah, see, we don't know if that's going to be 1, 2, and this, or for example, we have 1, 2, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this right here could be a 4 before you get 5. So that's what, unfortunately, we don't know. We don't know. But even if that's the case, we're not that far away from our low for the bear market. Remember, Theta has been in a bear market since 2021, guys. People think, oh, the bear market just started. No, it started way the hell back over here in April of 2021. So, all of Joe Biden's presidency, do you think Trump is just going to let crypto die? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of coins that are shit coins, straight S coins, straight belong in the trash. There's too many coins. There's too many dead pro. So, you know, a lot of the Bitcoin people want that flushed out so that it could get concentrated more into Bitcoin, but I think it'll be concentrated more in altcoins like maybe XRP, Ethereum, Theta, things like that eventually, right? Um, so Theta's extremely under. Look at Theta's 31 cents. Okay, the all-time high is $15. Imagine buying XRP at 30 cents and then it goes to 15 bucks. Well, guess what? All Theta has to do is just hit the all-time high. Do you think, let me just ask you this question. It doesn't have to be Theta, it could be any coin. But let's say a coin hit $15 and now it's at 30 cents. Do you think it's ever going to go back to $15? I think it will eventually if it's a good coin, which I think it is. So if by that logic, we won. It's an easy win. It's an easy win. The reason why people don't win is because they're not committed. They're not committed to the long haul, the long picture, right? What did Warren Buffett say? The most famous investor on the planet, pretty much. He said what? He said the stock market is a device that is used to transfer wealth from the impatient to the patient. So the same applies with crypto, but crypto luckily is a lot faster than stock market. It moves a lot faster. So, yeah, I think Theta looks very interesting. I think this thing could be going up a little bit here, so we'll see what happens. But essentially, we had this. Look at this. We had an impulse, three-way pullback. We had an impulse. We had a three-way pullback, and then we had a 9 on the 8-hour, and then we have this little pump up here. So maybe we're kind of chilling out. Maybe one more hit to the high, and then we'll have 5 waves. If we get 5 waves, guys, then what do we look for? We look for 3 waves down. And that's when you want to buy right there before we go up. So we want to wait, let it go up, let it come down, and that's when we buy. Pretty simple. Now, is there a guarantee that it's going to go up or down? What if it just goes up and then it gives us a little pullback, but then it keeps going? Well, then, hey, should have bought more, right? I mean, but let's put it on the daily real quick and let's look at the RSI here. I don't remember what it looked like. Oh my God. Talk about bullish divergence. Dude, look at that. Okay, first of all, I won't even count that, but you got 1, 2, and then you go up, right? So this is going up, this is going down. That's called bullish divergence. So that's exactly what's happening. And now what are we doing? Now we're starting to see how we're going down. Well, guess what? Now we're going sideways. That's exactly what we want. We want to go sideways to build the base, to build the layer of support. We want to get away from the scene of the crime. This is a crime scene. We want to get away from that. We don't want to go way down and then straight up, because if you do that, you go straight back down. So instead, you go down, you go sideways, and that creates a bottom for us to have more positive momentum. I mean, there's not really much to say about Theta. There's a lot of Theta fans, but dude, Monero, man, still looking really good. I didn't really look at the smaller time frames, but essentially it looks pretty intense. It looks pretty intense. I remember we had a couple targets here. Let's see if we could figure out those targets. So basically all I did was just draw a fib. We can use a trend-based fib extension from the low to the high, back to the low, and look at that. We perfectly nailed the 1.414, exactly what we talked about in the members video, exactly what, and then also we talked about the 1618 coming in here pretty soon. So there's another way you could draw the fib, and that's way down here, and then I'm going to put this right there, and then I'm going to put this all the way down there. And now where the hell are we? Well, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We just hit the 1618. Isn't that crazy interesting? Now watch this. I could do it again, but we're just going to use a standard retrace. It's going to be similar, but look at this. I'm going to put this right here, and then we're going to go all the way down. And where in the Sam Hill are we? We are right. Whoa, look at that. We're right at this cluster 179, 1618, 1702. So is this a take profit area? Absolutely. Yes, take some profit. By all means, please. Do I think it's going to stop here? I don't think so. I think it could have a little bit more juice. Remember, we just had a nest because what we didn't know is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, can't be right. Can't be right. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Three-way pullback? No, that can't be right either. So it has to be what? It has to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and now this is wave 5. So 1, 2, all of that's 3, 4, and 5, unless it's the most bullish pattern on the planet, which is what? A nest of 1, 2. So if this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we have 1, 2 again, and now we're going into the third wave. This is wave 3, then we're still going to get 4 and 5, which would be totally, totally, totally insane. This is the same chart as silver, right? You have a big cup, and you have a handle, and you have all of this reaccumulation. That's exactly what silver is doing. I'm holding Monero, I'm holding silver, right? And look how long it took me to hold silver. I bought silver for the first time in 2018. That was 8 years ago, dude. And my investment is barely paying off right now. So it took 8 years. So when you buy crypto and it doesn't go up immediately, don't get upset about it. You actually don't want it to get up. You don't want it to go up immediately. Because the longer, look at this. I'm going to blow your mind right here. The more people, let's say Monero is down here, right? And you're buying every 2 weeks. So you bought 2 weeks, 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 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, every time. Okay, and then the price goes up, and then you have, let's say, we'll just say 10,000. No, that's 100,000. No, that's 10,000. Yeah, 10,000. So you have $10,000. Okay, now imagine this. Same exact thing, exactly the same. We're down in here, but we went a lot further. 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. And then we go up. Now you're looking at $15,000. Right? Why? Because it took longer, which means you made more money. Why did you make more money? Because it was down. You were buying down in the gutter for longer. That's why we don't want crypto to go up. If you don't have a massive bag, then you are praying for crypto to not go up because you don't have enough. How do you get more crypto? You need to have more paychecks. How do you get more paychecks? You need time. You need a lot of time. So imagine if, XRP or whatever was at 30 cents for year after year after year after year after year after year after year, and then we break out, you would make a lot of money. Versus XRP's at 30 cents, you buy it 1 or 2 times, and then you want it to go to $10. But even if it goes to $10, you're not going to make a lot of money because you didn't put a lot of money into it. The way you build up a massive portfolio is not by putting a lot of money into it. It's by continually compounding it through year after year after year, which is why people shouldn't sell all of their crypto in a bull market, because then you just eviscerated your portfolio and you say, oh, I'll just put that money back when it goes down. It's not that easy. And a lot of times people don't do that. So yes, take your profit, but still you want to be um, you want to have that edge. So is there anything left to say about Monero? I mean, dude, just go back and watch all the Monero videos. We've been talking about it forever. So where's this thing going? I mean, let's just put one more fib on here. I'm just going to put it right here. And you could see we're right in that 1618 level. I mean, this is literally a take profit level. So I would assume that we're probably going to chill out a little bit. And then I would expect us, I would really love to see us hit that 4.236. If we could do that, I'll be so happy. You know what really pisses me off though? Is I did not have any leverage on this move. I was all spot. I had a pure spot position. The reason I didn't have any leverage is because I did not know if this was a B wave, because we were looking at this as 3 down, maybe 3 up, and then 3 back down, and then we go up. So I would have added leverage if we did that. That didn't happen. We just had a 3, and then we had 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. We just continued to pump. Remember back over here where we had this pump and we had this flat. It was a running flat. We perfectly nailed that, actually. So I was looking at this like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like this, like that, but we didn't get it, right? So that was one of the ideas. It wasn't necessarily the main idea, but hey, I'm still excited. I'm not going to add any leverage now. Obviously, it's too late, but let's zoom in here and see what we could see here. Yeah, it still looks good. Let's see how it continues to progress. Enough about Monero. We talked about Bitcoin. Bitcoin still looks pretty good. It looks like it's about to cross 100,000. I mean, if Bitcoin can cross 100,000, that's a big headline right there. So is there anything else that's tripping out on us? Oh my God, ICP is up 20%. I didn't even know that. Whoa, Nella. I should have bought some of that. Damn, I was looking at it too. Ooh, we were just talking about it on the members video. We were looking at it. Damn, 20%. Litecoin is not the right coin because it looks like a total disaster right now. Ethereum, looks a lot like Bitcoin. Not really interested in Ethereum. Looks a little bit whatever. Dog. I mean, I don't know, man. It's let's keep looking. AXS. This is an interesting one because of how bad it is. Look at the all-time high was $160, and it's only at $1 right now. Imagine you go into the store, something out Walmart or something, and you buy something for $160, and then a few years later you go back into Walmart, and that same item that you bought for $160 is now only worth $1. Like, whoa, that's crazy. So what would you do in that sense? You would probably buy some, right? Whatever it is. Yeah, it looks like 5. It looks like we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had a 3-way pullback, and then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a 5, 3, 5. So we have an impulse and we have an ABC. So we should be bottoming here. Maybe it's not the exact bottom, but we are in the vicinity of where the bottom should be. And that's the whole point of dollar cost averaging. You don't have to nail the low, but you should be in the vicinity of the low. Theta Fuel, man. Theta Fuel. See, I got into Theta Fuel, and then I got out, and then I got back in. I'm just kind of like, my spot position, I'm trying to add to it, but I'm trying to trade, because I have to make a living here, and that's why I try to, ask if you can hit the like button, subscribe. I don't make any money from YouTube, hardly anything, but I need at least a little something something to help this, production, if you will, if you want to call it that. But yeah, I hardly make anything from YouTube. So all my money relies on trading. And if I don't have any trade setups, then I don't get paid. And if I don't get paid, then I don't eat. And if I don't eat, I get cranky. So, um, yeah, I don't have a job where I could just get a paycheck every 2 weeks. I love that. I love doing that because I got guaranteed money. Now I'm sort of like, I have to make money or I'm screwed, right? I don't pay the bills, then I'm going to be homeless. So I have to win. I have no choice. So, yeah, it would really help, just hit that subscribe button if you haven't, man. I'm really trying to get to. I know it sucks because viewership is down. If you look at Blockchain Backer, if you look at all these crypto channels, they're all pretty much, the viewership is way down because nobody cares right now. Um, so I really would try. My goal is to get 5,000 subscribers by summer. I don't know if that's possible, but we'll see. So other than that, I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about. I mean, you could look at individual altcoins, but they're all going to be relatively the same. So, I mean, just pick which one you want. It doesn't really matter. Um, let's look at Rune. Oh, silver is almost $100 silver, dude. Wow. I can't believe it. Silver is literally almost $100. That's crazy. I was gonna sell some silver, but then I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it forever. I'm never gonna sell my silver. I'll probably sell maybe a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how crazy it gets. But the main thing is if you have kids, it's best to just pass down the silver to your kids, right? That way it stays in the family. That's how you have generational wealth, is by passing down your wealth to your kids, and hopefully they don't screw it up, and that's why you got to teach them correctly. But look at silver, dude. Look at the chart of silver. This has just been rocking and rolling and rocking and rolling. And my dad's an idiot because he didn't transfer his IRA to a silver account like I told him to do 5 years ago. He would have been a multimillionaire if he would have listened to me. But he didn't. So unfortunate. Because he had like 500,000 in his retirement account. He worked at a steel company for like what, 30, 40 years, and he had a retirement account, and he just retired. And I told him, transfer it to gold or silver, or at least put 50 or 20% of your retirement into gold and silver. And he just hesitated and he didn't do it. So that kind of sucks because when he dies, I assume I would get something, right? I'm his only son on his side. On my mom's side, I have 3 siblings, but on my dad's side, I only have just me. So when he dies, he's going to will me I would hope he does, his whatever he has left. And if he would have listened, I could have probably got willed a lot more, But yeah, he's only in his 60s. That's going to, hopefully that doesn't happen for a long, long time. But yeah, silver is the largest cup and handle in human history. I mean, there's nothing bigger than it. I'm surprised that nobody even talks about it. Like, literally, think about that. Silver is the biggest cup and handle. Everybody knows what a cup and handle is. Everybody. So silver is the biggest. Freaking scam callers, whatever. I don't know what the hell that was. I silenced my notifications for 1 hour, but it looks like I've already gone over an hour. So, anyways, Bitcoin Cash. Let's just talk about that real quick. So, I like Bitcoin Cash, but I'm a little bit scared because I don't know if it looks like it could be a flat. So if this is a move up and then we get a flat, then I would be a little bit more excited. But until then, I don't know. But it's still really bullish. Why is it really bullish? Because why? Because we've broken out of a massive supply line. This is a downward resistance line. This is the supply line, and the demand broke the supply line. Basically the entire life of Bitcoin Cash's life, and we broke it. So we broke out, and now we're back testing it. So we want to flag out a little bit and then continue higher. So hopefully that happens. But I'd be very cautious right in here. I'm not so certain right at the moment, but I want to, if this is a flat, then that's great. Let's zoom in a little bit. It's really consolidating. You can see the candles are really tight, and you do have a, here's the problem. You have a rising wedge. Rising wedges usually break to the downside. So if this is a wedge down, or I'm sorry, a wedge up, then we could have a move down. So that, but if we do have a move down, then that's a three-way move. And after a three-way move, we should go up. So that's about it. Rune. Please tell me I didn't sell my rune. Please tell me I didn't. I did. I freaking did. I can't believe it. No. No. Okay, yeah. I sold my trade, but I kept my spot position. All right, guys, that'll do it for this video. If it gets too long, nobody's going to watch. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. And if you hit the like, subscribe, drop a comment, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.